Guys, welcome back. I think this is part 6 of the Swift for beginners. As right now we're not doing any business logic, basically any functionalities at all. We're just doing a lot of UI, and we left it right here. We created this header, and basically we are recreating the Instagram page. And like I said before, I'm not pre-writing any of my code, so sometimes I jump into issues, bugs, and I have to figure it out. I'm also not editing my video because sometimes my thought process of how to try to debug will help you out, like when you have a problem. Because if I edit it and I cut it, okay, that video is shorter, but you wouldn't see like the things that I try to do to figure it out. So I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just gonna keep adding more and more. Probably later on I'm gonna start adding more functionalities, API, third-party SDK using Cocoa Touch, and yeah, probably we integrate Firebase database. So we left it right here. So let's create a story, because it's gonna be a story. These are going to be posts. Those are posts basically. And then let's create another model. Let's create another one, new file. Let's call it story. And yeah, struct. It's a structure. Just not gonna name a story. A story has of an image. Let image, or you could call it I don't know if it's thumbnail or story avatar, but I'm gonna call it image. No, I'm gonna call it story avatar. Avatar image. Oh no, I'm gonna call it story. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call it image F that, because it's a story image. I mean, you could name it whatever you want. If you have a better creator name, go for it. And then it has a username. Let username, that's a string, and let's add a time. Let timestamp. Let's use a stream as well. We're probably going to change all this data source later on, but I'm just doing things very basics to make it work, and then we go from there. Okay, so basically in that profile here, right, if you check Instagram has a feed here as well, like story feed, and then it has the two icons here. So also, like if you come from the contact page and you come here, you'll see able, then you'll be able to see the story right here. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this story right here, and then for your homework you're going to add it here. It's basically the same thing. You just need to know how to play around with the constraints and know where to place it, right? So we're gonna create a horizontal here. So inside, this is the okay, this is the header. Basically for the story, because you're already inside the header, you don't have to recreate the header. You just have to come here and add as a property a collection view with data source, or let's see, or maybe I do both, and I'll leave you some of the homework. Okay, so this is the cell, blah blah blah, feed view controller. Okay, let's create a story cell. Okay, cells right here. We have everything in folders. It's much easier. So let's create a new file. Call it story cell. You could either write it as this, or you could just do it using Cocoa Touch class, and then collection view cells, and then base kinda. So here you're gonna UI import UI kit, so we could take advantage of the UI properties and class, right? Story cell. A lot of this UI collection view cell. A lot of this I'm going to go through them really fast because you already did it. I mean, we have done this. We've been doing this and then for so long. So you just create the frame. If you build, you're gonna scream, you already know this. Boom, you fix it, and boom, that's it. So now let's create a yeah, story bar story of type of story with a capital, right? Let's not, yeah, let's make it optional. And then what I did say, you already know all this, right? Okay, now let's create a property, a private function, because we want it to be private function, and set up constraints. I will show you also some other property that are very helpful later on, of functions basically. And then we're going to create, let's create only the avatar, the story avatar, and the username. So just to here, story image, yeah, that's a story image. UI image, yeah, beautiful. If you notice, we've been doing this so long that it almost should come automatic to you. IB the clips to bounce equal truth. You probably know this if you already know. The blah 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 layer, the corner radius equal. Let's put 30. I'm gonna make the size of 60. So I'm just doing this so we could get the image rounded. And let's create a label, username label, label equal UI label, and return a label. Boom. Okay, how we going? Oh, now let's do it again. As a view, story image, and story image the center Y. The constraints go to center Y, because yeah, looks active equal truth. Center X, trying to make the video a little faster. Story image the high anchor constraint 60, because we and with anchor, right, 60, so it could be rounded. Let's put a little background, maybe the background color, so we know UI color could be red. Okay, let's do here fillet image equal story the image, right? Story image the image equal to image. So basically here, if this image exists, create this property and set this image name to this story image, right? To this story image right here. So and then okay, let's copy the name. Let's go to the, no, we don't want the contact file. Yeah, we don't need none of this. Let me close this so I don't have all this open. And then here, let's change this to story cell right here, right? Register the header, and then here for supplemental of kind as exclamation point, boom. So basically we're saying, hey, this feed image, right? I mean this header, let's make it of story cell. Let's make a subclass of this. So and let's see what happens. Okay, it's gonna give me, okay, but it's not gonna show anything. I know why, but it's all Gucci, because we want to create a collection view side here. But let me try something. Let's make sure the header works. So we come here and then story cell with the init plus another thing. It didn't show anything because the constraints. Background color equal the white. We didn't call this function, right? So maybe you noticed that I didn't call it, and you already caught it, which is great if you did. If you didn't, set up constraints. Now it's supposed to show something, the image, or at least around the background. Even though nope, because we don't have the cells. And right here, you see, right here, we also miss ib.translate. You see, even though I'm so used to this, I'm like I still forget sometimes, so don't feel bad when you do forget. Just try to make sure that you're like kind of getting. See, I'm still getting an error. What is this? Let's see. Center Y. High anchor 60 with anchor 60, and this gives me an error. Enable or UI story. Okay, the AI image or give me this, but I was messing up in one part because I didn't want to add this image right here right now. What I wanted to do is okay, but let's keep it that way. Let's do let collection view, right on top of UI collection view. UI collection view, boom, and then boom, let collection view CV collection view equal UI collection view. Do returns CV, and then let layout equal UI collection view flow layout. You gotta do it here. Right, so when you come here, you will like, you'll ask you if you want a frame. So the frame will be .0, and then because we're gonna add the constraints and put a layout, then here in layout, you'll be like direction. What is it? Actually, what is it? Scroll direction equal dot horizontal, right? Because we want to be able to scroll it like this. The story, right? Because by default it comes vertically. If you read here, scroll your grid, along the side, only the horizontal vertically for non-persist, blah 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 blah. Started with the count. So here, before anything, let's comment this code. Let's comment it because we're not planning to use it right here right now. We like app sub view dot collection collection view, and then collection view dot with anchor dot constraint equal to with anchor dot is active equal to truth, and collection view dot high anchor dot constraint equal to high anchor dot is active equal to truth, and we want to be like CV dot translate into false, right? Okay, so basically we're just adding a collection view. Okay, I'm not building right here. We're just adding a collection view here, and it's gonna scroll horizontally. That's why I create the layout when I did it like this. Now, okay, bam, 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 bam. Let me see something. CV dot. Even though we're missing a couple of things, but I want to see the red. We have to add data source and delegates. Basically, it's where we're able, you see it's red because we already have the collection view. Now we're going to create the cells. So right here, we're gonna make subclass of UI collection view data source and UI collection view delegate. Yeah, we need both. We need this one and UI collection view delegate this one, because we're gonna take advantage of the size of the cells, the data source, and everything else. If you click here, you'll be like, you'll add the protocols right here. Like, see, I don't index path and blah blah blah, but we don't want to add it there. Let's add it more here. Let's put it to point. Let's put like mark. So say collection view. So we know that any code after this collection view, so be like number of item in section, return 10, put 10, let like right. Cell for index path, right? Let cell equal UI no collection view dot DQ cell. So we like, let's call it cell. Could be like cell ID, which is something we're going to create now, as you already know, which is already Y, and then both index path. Cool. So let's go and create this cell ID, right? Let's make a, let's call it right here, private cell ID, oh no, private let, cell ID equal cell ID. I mean, you already done this like 3, 4, 5 times. We're just doing this inside a cell, right? Inside this header cell that we created is where we are doing this. And yeah. And then we like, okay, return cell. We still don't remember, and then we like cell the background color, right? Fetch background color equal to purple, whatever color you want. And this, okay, this is white, but we set the collection blue to red, so let's make it white. And let's create another function, private function, private function setup collection view, boom, right? Which has to be right there underneath that one. This one you could create it anywhere. I mean, if you want, you could like, you could do it here if you want. It's better, more whatever. Then we're like, okay, collection view dot register view, no, cell class for UI collection view cell, boom, dot self, and then we like cell ID. We got a number of cells, okay, well, okay, like size 4, which that's why we're using UI collection view delegate flow, return a CG size, right, for flow, and we could be like, this is the size that we want for this. So we could be like, let's do that. Let's try to do collection. Oh no, we could do frame dot width. Frame dot width. Let's put it both and see. Which is the width of this, which is a height. Yeah, let's do height instead here. Let's see if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what we get. Let's run now. Okay, we have a setup. Okay, I got this wrong. Setup here. Okay, yeah, I know why, because we still need under here in it, you could be like collection view the data source equal to self, and collection view dot delegate equal to self, which this is saying, hey, the data source is this property, this delegate function that we call in here, delegate to this cell, which is saying, hey, I will need to use this information and this information, and the delegate is the one that's gonna give you the size and rendering the cells. So if you don't have this, you won't get it. And if you also, you see how this is right here. And also another thing is, if you put this too, and let's say like I remove the delegate itself, which I'll probably get an error. The delegate will start screaming like, you cannot make it so blah 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 blah. Let me see. Oh, I'm still using this one. Oh, let me see. My mistake used to start screaming at you. We should, you see here, oh, you cannot assign value type star result to your data source because you're not subclassing it. And if you don't want to have this, right? I mean, you have to either way. The only thing that in previous, let's say in the feed, we never added, because class, right, feed view controller, it was a type of UI view controller. But in the story cell, we just creating this view. We're creating a collection view as a property, so we could take advantage of that. And you know what? Let's rename this, because yeah, I went a little bit ahead of myself. Let's rename this to feed header cell. let's rename this, right? Yeah, because this is what it is. Then now we have to go and create the story cell. Story cell, because the cell that we create now is so same thing, more practice for you. What class of UI collection view cell? It's like init, right? Frame super dot init frame by. It's gonna give you a little warning. You can just be like boom boom. That's it. Then same thing as always. Private func setup constraints. You should already know this in automatic, and I'm doing a lot of this on purpose so you kind of get used to it and it kind of becomes part of you when you're doing this. And then if you want, if you be a little lazy, you could just take this 3. No, let's take all this. Let me see. Yeah, you could take all this. Command X to cut it. Bring it here. You could be like, paste it. Or you could write it. I mean, we do the same thing here on Command X. We don't need it, right? And then now, let me see where I'm at. Oh, this is the cell background, but okay, here we need to create a bar stories, right? Equal an array of, gonna create an array of story. Boom. And right here you can be like story.count, right? And then you could be here like cell story. Oh no, we're missing one thing. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, because if we don't do as, oh, this is a good example, because I'm trying to access this story right here, but it won't. This one right here, but it won't, because I didn't register. Where's my collection view stuff? Where did I register collection view? Register subclass, blah blah blah. Okay, one thing that this needs to be as doom bang. Maybe here I took something that didn't belong here. No, it's good. There's nothing here. I don't need this. Oh wow, it's right here. Probably you guys found it. Like, look at Shanders right there, and you're looking for it like crazy. But basically, okay, let's leave this as this. But this, because we said as story cell. Now you could be like cell dot story, right? Equal to stories, right? This stories index path dot row. Boom. We said that story dot count, but you have to set this story as that. So we have to register it first. Boom. Let's see now what we get. Even though we probably wouldn't get anything, because we haven't added any story to the array count. Also, then okay, let's add some here. Could be stories equal to open bracket, close bracket. If you want to have some space and play around with this, you like story, right? And you create a story. It could be that image, right? I'm going to copy any of my images. Honestly, I'm not feel like we're on other cells. Let me go. Oh yeah, let me copy this 3. I'm going to have 3 stories. Add images yourself, play around with it. I'm just doing this because honestly, I'm just being lazy. And I'm trying to, for the sake of the video, username, I'll be like, Jose. Yeah, but like, cool avatar, I'm gonna call it. And timestamp, say 2 minutes ago. But this one where then we could just like add a comma here, right? And then we copy this, and I'm gonna be like ding ding, and then like 2 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, and then we could just be like change the name. Okay, we could delete the 3. I just put in there to copy the name, and I'm like cool avatar, and then up here I'm gonna name it avatar. Then cool female. Let's see what happens. Okay, and this, as you see, this is yelling at me because why? Oh, avatar, yeah, boom, right there. This needs to be instead of that. Let's see what we get now. Uh-oh, not getting anything. Why is that? We raise to the cell, and then here the index path, right? Let me put a breakpoint. It's a great thing to put a breakpoint, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's look for self, and then stories. You can see right there, I'm debugging, has 3 stories, right? You can see the name, cool avatar, blam blam blam. Story self, I go in this path now. So when it come here, it's supposed to give me this images, but it's not giving me nothing. Maybe when I did all the copy and paste, I messed something up. Okay, I have this. Oh, this is supposed to be false, right? Yeah, and I have it set it to truth. I think that's why. Maybe you guys can be like, Shander, look at the bug right there. You see, if I don't take this out, it'll be again, but over there, let me see. It told you, at least I got the 3 images right there. So let's copy and paste this, right? Let's put it 3 times so we get 9 images. And then now, boom, 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 this background is red. Okay, and you know something, this is an image, but it's supposed to be, maybe you guys got it right. Smarter than me. A UI image, something like this. See? UI image, that name, blah, blah, blah. I messed up there. You see, I was getting a lot ahead of myself. Now we should be getting. So if you got it right, feel good about yourself. If you didn't get it right, then feel good about yourself. Cannot convert type of UI image to the best string. Oh, yeah, I messed up here too. If you see here, I was supposed to say this story, right? I'll be like story, right? So I was supposed to say this story of, yeah, I have to bug the story, then what is it? Image, okay, story image, then now it should work. So I had 2 bugs. So if you were following me, my bad, but you see those mistakes that you do. There you go, boom. Wow, now if you want, you can just be like, IV, right? IV the content mode equal the scale specific would be a fit. Like the layer, the border width equal to 1, or you could put like 0.5 if you want to do like something very small, and they be like IP the layer, the border color equal. What's cool? Oh, it has to be your color, the red, and type of CG color. See, now it's gonna be looking very good, my friend. Look at this, nice. See the little very small. Now if we want to add this to be bigger, this is my phone. Oh, camera right here. Check your phone. Let me see. So look at Instagram instead of. I was going to just Yeah, I think the header is a little bit bigger, right? Even the border. But this is okay. Let's make this a little bit bigger, yeah. But first of all, let's add let's do this right here as well. Story dot username. Oh, I forgot. I was like username. Well, sometimes you might see like self dot username dot text. But this is saying like self, or this is saying, hey, this like self is like this class, right? So basically self, like this class, this username, this one right here, right? This username, text, blah blah blah. Okay, done. Let's add it. I'll be like apps view username label dot top constraint to story image dot bottom constraint per constant of 2, little small space, is active equal to truth, and let's put a username dot center x equal to first. Let me do center x and see how it goes. Oh, we're gonna just put like the story image center x. Let me try this one first because I want it to be like here center, and then if it gets big it could go that way both ways. Let's see what we get. Boom, saying we getting some the screaming here. The top story anchor active and we know why too. Label dot translate. See, I'm making a lot of mistakes today, which is a good thing, so you learn equal to false now. Kind of saw this and I kind of okay, you see how it's like overlapping, so we gotta make it a little bigger because they scroll. This is inside where no, it's not inside profile cell, it's inside a header cell, and then the height. Okay, oh no, nah, this is inside this. Then we come here and then we set the height to this, right? Inside that feed view controller, let's put like 120. See what we get. Much bigger, right? Put like if you want to put like 110 or whatever, play around with it. Also, let me see. I think haven't done this in a very long time. Where are we? No, I think the header cell and layout. I think it's like on the layout, like layout, scroll direction. It's not a, what I don't know if always, I don't know if it's the collection view. Let me see. Let me see. Collection view dot scroll direction visible. Oh, show vertical, and okay, show horizontal equal to false. You see, sometimes like you gotta look or just start typing at least so like what you're trying to get, and then sometimes function, play around with it. You see now we don't see that line there, like this line that we could hide it too vertically, but at least we don't have it here. Boom. There you go. So you think you could do it for this right here? I'm gonna explain. I'm not gonna do in this video, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it short. But let's do this. So I'm gonna tell you how exactly to do it. So right, so how to do this. So you go inside the profile cell, right? Is it boo 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 boo? No. Let me go to profile cell. Where's my profile? Gotta go here first. Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. So going inside the profile. Let's go here. Yeah. Let's do a renaming here as well. Let's call it profile header cell. Like profile header cell. Yeah, let's call it like that. So we know it's more clear, you see? Sometimes rename things as you think is better. So go inside the profile header cell, which is this. Boom. Inside of here, you're going to create another view controller, another not view controller, another collection view, as we did. Where is it? Let me just, I'm gonna stay with this too, as we did here. So create another collection view property like this. Make sure you import, right, that you subclass UI collection view data source, delegate, and delegate flow, right? Make sure you create an array of stories. Make sure you register. Make sure you add the constraint to the collection view. But this is gonna be a tricky part for you because it's not gonna be this. You're gonna have to set, right? You could be like collection view dot top anchor dot, collection view dot top anchor constraints. Then you could say like this follow button, whatever you call it, right? Whatever you named it. This button, whatever, where is it? Whatever you name it. If you name it like me, it could be like following button dot bottom constraint, and you could add the little spacing that you want there, right? If you want to constant or not. And then you could just be like collection view of width, right? The width, the height that you want. Basically how big you want it to be. You could be like, I think we're using like 120. So if you want the same size as we did here, right? Boom, you gotta, here you gotta set up the width, and then you gotta set up the height, both. Done. And then I think it's going up here, right here, whatever space you put, right? So it's that. Then you gotta make sure, instead of view profile header, right, you already create a collection view, the constraints that you call. Instead of here, you gotta have to create number of, basically all this number of item in sections. Boom. Self index path. Boom. You gotta make sure you register a cell, which you could use this the same way, story.cell. So basically you create a function like this, and you just register the cell. You don't have to create a new cell for the stories right here, because you already have this and you're going to use the same thing. So why create things to do it twice? So you just gotta make sure once you get this set up, like once you see that your collection view shows right here, and you add the data source, right? You gotta make sure you do data source and delegate, and you add stories to the story array, which if you follow this video, whatever you do over there, if you want, you could copy and paste it. You could just rewrite it again and have other. Boom. And if you follow these patterns exactly, you'll get your collection view right here. By the time that I explained to you, I probably could have just have it done. So, but do it. If not, I'm gonna send another video. It's gonna be Swift for Beginner part 6.2. Right, guys? If you like, remember to subscribe, share the video, turn on the notification, because I'm gonna try to keep adding more video, and then I'm gonna start adding more complex stuff. But at least I'm trying to make sure that you learn the UI, because if you learn all the logics and you don't learn the UI, then what's the whole point? You know, even though the logic is super important, but let's learn the UI first, and then we could just jump into the more complex stuff. But at least you're getting familiar with the Xcode and Swift and all that good looking stuff. All right, see you next time.